Blockchain, in the most basic sense, is a database that logs records of transactions. There are a few things that set it apart from a traditional centralized database. Blockchain is a decentralized ledger that is managed by a peer-to-peer network. This means that anyone can write to the blockchain, hold or read the full history of transactions, or contribute to the validation of transactions. Public blockchains are able to accomplish all this without an intermediary, which has previously been necessary for online transactions to be trustworthy. This means that no one person is in charge of a public blockchain. Disintermediation of traditional markets can make transacting not only less costly, but in many cases more efficient. Now, you may be wondering, how does blockchain work? First, the method of validating transactions, commonly referred to as the consensus protocol, ensures that all activity that is logged meets the agreed upon rules that govern transactions. Transactions are then batched into blocks at regular intervals using cryptography. Second, blockchain is a write-only database. Each block is tethered to the previous one, also through cryptography. Because changing a single transaction in one block would require each subsequent block to be changed as well, blockchain databases are heavily resistant to change. While blockchain is sometimes described as immutable, it is better described as a tamper or censor resistant. Finally, the full blockchain database is hosted by each party contributing to the consensus protocol. This means that even if one copy of the database is destroyed, corrupted, or otherwise changed, there are multiple redundant copies that maintain the integrity of the data. Blockchain does have its limitations. To date, the largest hurdle that public blockchain has faced is the ability to scale. Currently, the public blockchains are only available to accommodate transaction volumes orders of magnitude lower than major financial or credit systems. I mentioned that blockchain is tamper-resistant, and it's certainly true that the database itself is very secure, but there have been numerous examples of vulnerabilities in the applications that are built on top of the database. From unexpected smart contract loopholes to a host of application layer vulnerabilities, there are no shortage of examples where blockchain-based initiatives have been compromised. Blockchain also has reputational issues stemming from the original application, Bitcoin, which has been used for illicit trade, tax evasion, and other antisocial behaviors. You may be wondering, what can blockchain be used for? Bitcoin was the blockchain that started it all. Bitcoin is a decentralized cryptocurrency that isn't backed by a central bank the way traditional fiat currency is. Bitcoin was developed pseudo-anonymously by an individual or group known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin was essentially a proof of concept that showed that the blockchain is able to securely record transactions and defeat the double spend problem that had been plaguing decentralized online payment systems. In addition to allowing for decentralized financial systems that are trustworthy and transparent, people soon caught on to the fact that the technology underpinning Bitcoin was applicable beyond fintech. Because of the chain-like structure of the database, transactions can easily be traced back to their point of origin, creating a system that can easily be audited. For this reason, blockchain is well suited to help manage supply chains and storing variables like price, date, location, quality, and certification. Real-life applications of using blockchain for supply chain management range from projects tracing produce from seed to scale to the certifying the provenance of diamonds as conflict-free. Let's talk about blockchain and governance, something we at the Institute on Governance are very interested in. This is because blockchain is actually all about governance. As I mentioned, the consensus protocol is a digital layer of governance, one that has been programmed to ensure that all peers agree upon transactions that are batched into blocks. Decentralization also brings about a host of human-to-human governance challenges, such as how decisions are made, who is held accountable, and the management of collective goals. Next, let's consider blockchain in the public service. Blockchain works very well for identity management, registration systems for land, businesses, and intellectual property, and perhaps even voting in government elections. At the Institute, we're working with public servants to help them understand what blockchain is well suited to do and where it isn't the best solution. We're doing this through education, helping to map a future state where blockchain could be leveraged to improve back office operations or service delivery, and guidance on the governance issues to consider as they consider using blockchain. If you're interested in learning more about the Institute on Governance's research or blockchain, check out other videos in our IOG Gov Talk series or visit www.iog.ca.